Yes and no.
I guess we'll start at the very beginning, because it's the very even a 6-day creation.
I think it's possible.
It's possible.
I
Do you believe in the story of Genesis 1?
think it fits a scientific model.
It fits a scientific model. Do you accept it as true?
I do not accept anything to be true that I myself have not experienced.
Okay. So you don't believe it then? You leave it as possible?
I believe it is possible, correct. I would, like, it seems nice and it's within a nice framework.
Is that what you would say to just about anything you think is potentially true in the Bible? Is kind of the same way. It would seem nice. It fits a model. Seems to fit. If I ask
Correct.
you Adam and Eve, you would say the same thing.
Correct.
That's interesting. If I asked you about the flood, you would say the same, or
Correct.
Jonah and the fish.
I would tell you that there is historical evidence to support a narrative, but could I say myself that I know a certain thing to be true? I would tell you that I
We're
do
not
not.
asking knowledge claims. We're asking belief. What you
Okay.
accept to be true, right?
Sure.
Is there not a difference between belief and knowledge?
There is.
So do you believe these things to be true?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't. Well, I think honestly, to like make it into a short, neat phrase, I would say that because I cannot believe anything to be true that I myself have not physically experienced within my current lifetime.
But I asked you earlier if you believed Jesus was your Lord and Savior, if he died on a cross and was resurrected, and you said yes. Did you physically experience those things in your lifetime?
No.
So do you believe those things?
Yes.
But you don't believe Adam and Eve, you don't believe... Interesting.
Yes.
So the belief, the acceptance is limited to Jesus? Or is there more of the Bible that is...
I believe more of the Bible to be true. But can I...
Question.
Okay. So, well, you made a distinction, right, between belief and knowledge, right?
Because, so do you know Jesus Christ exists? Do you know that he died on a cross?
Have I seen him die on a cross and have I seen him physically in person? No.
Okay.
So therefore, the answer would then be no, correct?
For knowledge, if that's the way you
For knowledge.
come to knowledge. So belief, though, is that just an acceptance without the seeing?
Belief is acceptance without seeing, correct. That's how I personally would define a belief. Yes.
Okay, so belief is more about just acceptance in general.
Yes. I think that's a good way to put it.
Fair enough. So if belief is acceptance and knowledge is acceptance with seeing, then do you believe in the Old Testament at all?
I believe that they are historical accounts of what occurred,
So
I
then
think
you would believe that Adam and Eve and the Exodus and all of those things occurred. Or just some of them.
yes, but I feel like it's a limited story.
I see.
So this is why I like these conversations. I don't like to exist within a vacuum.
It's sounding to me like you believe these things, but you don't have the conviction that you would say you do of Jesus, that the Old
Correct.
Testament stories are true.
Correct. I have more conviction
Would it matter to
about
you if
Jesus
they were?
Christ.
Would it matter to you of Jesus,
No.
even if Jesus believed them to be true and
No.
used them to teach?
No. That would not change my belief.
So, why do you believe in Jesus?
Because I believe that whether divine or not, there's and utilizing scientific proof in history, right, to back up enough of what could be proven. I think that this was a very courageous individual who stood out a single voice amongst many, who was able to turn back certain entities who have a vile reaction towards the name,
Oh boy.
whom was for the all and not for the elect. And so maybe there could be a potential to put a person on a pedestal, right? I can acknowledge that. But also to have someone meet the limitations that were given to this messiah figure were very slim. And he did by whatever and also the like internal reaction, right, that I personally have towards knowing the story, knowing the sacrifice, knowing the actions of what an individual did to try to free those who were enslaved in some way or form, to me is very
Polly, I'm going to back you up like pretty much all the way to the beginning, and I want to do this very gently, but what the fuck are
sure.
you talking about? You're being very vague, and it makes it strange. Like there's
Okay.
something you want to say that you're not saying.
I just don't know how, like what maybe answer you're looking for, right? So, like, I'm
Yeah,
trying to.
what about the notion that she's like believes herself to be heretical or something like that?
What about that notion?
Yeah, like I was surprised to not go with that immediately.
Oh,
Like,
what
like
is the heresy? What
yeah,
is the thing that you think is heretical? I want to get there. I thought we'd have found it along the way to here. And when I asked The last
I don't.
Why do you believe in Jesus?
Why do I believe in Jesus?
And we got a weird,
Okay.
incomplete string of sentences. I didn't.
I think honestly it's because I've never had to actually answer that question in public before. Does that make sense? Now I feel like I kind of have to give a very precise answer, and that perhaps there's something that's being asked more deeply of me, and
Let's
I'm
back up
trying to
then.
answer
Let's
that.
back up just a little more and maybe we'll find along the way. So, you believe in the New Testament. Do you believe it entirely as written?
That the entire New Testament is to be taken as literal.
I'm asking you. Do you
Right.
take it
That's
that
what
way?
I'm asking. Is that what you're asking me? No, I do not. I do not. No. I do not believe that the entire New Testament is to be taken as literal.
Interesting.
I think parts of it are, but I think sometimes that things, I think that sometimes things can be both literal and metaphorical at the same time.
What's your measuring stick for such a thing? Like, how do you determine one way or the other?
So if something's to be taken literal for me, I try to understand that within like the context of my everyday life. Like, how does this influence or affect what I am currently living and doing? And like, I'm a pretty average, basic, I feel like everyday person, right? Like, I'm raising 2 kids, I'm a female, I'm a mom, I'm a veteran, like all of these things, right? Like, I feel like those are like average metrics.
Those are descriptors about who you're determining whether something was verifiable and literal
Well,
or
okay,
not in the Bible.
and that's fair. So, like, I take it as experience, right? Like, did I personally experience these everyday things? And if I didn't, then I can't say with conviction whether or not that they are true.
So, like water into wine,
Right. Like, I don't know if that's true or
or
not. I think,
resurrection, or resurrection from unalivement,
right. Like, I can't,
or healing blindness with rubbing dirt into somebody's eyes.
correct. Like, I myself cannot give credence to say that this is true or false. Does that make sense?
But okay, so I guess still the question remains, how do you determine what is literal and what's not literal? Based on what you perceive to be possible or impossible, based on your own experience? Is that the answer?
Yes.
Okay. So which
So,
parts are, sorry, Thrayle, go ahead. My apologies.
well, I was wondering what in your experience makes you think that a resurrection is possible.
I think the part of me that thinks that that's possible is because I've seen something similar.
You've seen something similar to somebody.
Being like on the brink, right? And like, I think,
There's a difference though between the brink and unalive for 3 days, right?
correct. And that's where I think it kind of goes more into that like feeling thing, like something that you have internal into yourself that can't really be described with words, which may sound preposterous.
So for you, you have a feeling that Jesus' resurrection story is true. Just a feeling.
I would say that there's like more to it than that, but yes, if you want to like make it as basic as it possibly could be.
Is the virgin birth story true as well?
I don't know.
So that's where the I don't knows are. Is anything outside of the resurrection? And his promise that he's from, or is it his teachings? Are those true? Are those verbatim?
The question, I think the questions for me come outside of, yes, anything that like was not spoken directly by him, that was not done directly by him.
That raises a big question. How do you know any of the words in the Bible were spoken by him?
How do I know? I don't. That's a fact, right? Like, I don't know, which I think is kind of the whole point of, can you question your beliefs? Like, I do question, right? Like, I mean, I have to, right? Because I wasn't there and I don't know.
You're doing great, Polly.
But I do feel like intuitively there are certain things that like, and I know it sounds weird, like to most people, right? And it sounds like something you could like mock and make fun of him, all of that, and that's fine. But intuitively, there are certain aspects of like it grips me like nothing I've experienced in my life. And like I said, I am a veteran and I gave birth, right? Like, and those are some pretty fantastical things. So I've been through some pretty fantastical things in my life. And very few things have like, I guess. You know what I mean?
And for some reason, is it just the resurrection, or is there more to the Jesus story that grips you that way? Just him and his teachings.
It's the entire story in general. It's the
The question though is how would you know if those are his words or not?
I wouldn't. As a fact, I mean, I wouldn't know. I try to discern the words in the same way that I try to discern, is this person someone who's safe to be around my family or not? Does this information cause a visceral reaction within me, and why?
I'm not sure how we got to visceral reactions.
Talking about like, how do I know?
Does
right?
it,
like
does it matter
don't,
to you if it's true or not? If those are his words?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So like, I try to. Does it matter
if it's true?
If those were his words or not?
Mm-hmm.
No. It's my gut reaction is no.
That's fair. That's fair. Why doesn't it matter if it's true or not?
Because ultimately, if everything I believe to what is being a good person in the world, and where does that lead others?
So for you, because you have the gut reaction towards the way he expresses things, you think that is him expressing how to be a good person in the world, and that's the part that matters to you.
Yes.
Is it possible the idea of what it means to be a good person in the world was something taught to you?
Yes.
And taught to you by people who read this book?
Yes.
Could that be why it seems
Causes those reactions? Absolutely.
Does that make it true?
Doesn't make it true. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to.
Are there ways potentially to be a better person, in your estimation, than the way this book teaches?
If you're looking at the book, if you're looking at the book, if you're looking at the character, so the book and the character are two different things.
Right. So I should narrow it back down to the character of Jesus.
I would say if you're looking at the character, I would say no.
You don't think there's any way to be a better person than the way?
No, because we can't get rid of suffering. We can't get rid of our human impulses. We can't get rid of our biological needs for things, right? So no.
If we have these human impulses and biological needs for things, then why should we not have those things?
Right. Which also, I would say, though, that Jesus Christ did teach very similar to the Buddha, abstain from... okay, so what it teaches in the Bible is that he abstained clearly from sex, which I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not taking that to be literal. I don't know. I think it's odd that a society who martyred someone would suddenly become the forerunners.
Where would it teach that?
Sorry. Go
Say
ahead,
again?
Rob. I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, where does it teach that in the Bible? How do you know such a thing to be true?
Teach what?
Teach Jesus being celibate.
It never mentions it at all, actually.
Okay.
Then why'd you say it did?
Because it does seem to be like a very big thing for people who believe outside of it. And for Christians alike. Like that seems to be like a...
But a moment ago it only mattered what it said about what he said. So why are you listening to what other people say about what he said or did?
I guess ultimately because I'm trying to like talk about something with... I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of being like thrown over the coals here. So
you're doing right, Molly. We're questioning your belief. What does that mean to you to question your belief?
I guess sometimes it can feel like an attack.
It's not ever, I promise.
Is that what it really means? I don't think so, but I think most of the time when people question another person's beliefs, whether they're about like Jesus or they're about anything else, Norse mythology, whatever, I think that they can seem like an attack. So maybe...
I don't know why you're focused on attack. It's not an attack. If you take out how you're feeling in the moment, which seems to be attacked for some reason, what does it mean for you to question your beliefs?
For me, it means finding something that's true.
You can know anything that's true? I don't think that you do from what you said.
Can I know anything that's true? I think honestly the only way, like I said, I think really to like know anything that's true is like to have experienced it, right?
So how are you determining what's true if you haven't experienced it?
Based on my belief. Really, ultimately, right? And then trying to back it up with what I've experienced. And then making
you
that.
think-
So, go ahead, Kat.
Do you think that when questioning a belief that you should only question it with yourself?
No.
So why would allowing other people to question it feel like an attack?
Honestly, I think because I've never done it in this kind of forum before.
It's not. I promise it's not, ever.
Yeah, no, I think it's just because I've never done it in this kind of forum before, and I think because there's a bias from seeing and hearing things on the news, so then you kind of like retreat into a shell, and I think that's true for probably anybody who believes in any kind of way, that like they think that their beliefs will be attacked. So
Well, how you accept Jesus and what you accept about him.
right. I was just trying to answer previous question.
Indirectly, it seems. But, Polly, I have maybe only a couple more questions if you're open to them.
Okay.
But it seems like you might not be interested anymore in questioning your beliefs here. So I want to give you the opportunity to bow out if that's what you'd like.
I'm open to it.
Sure. So if you woke up tomorrow and you found good reason to believe that the Jesus story was a myth, made up, and that there were perhaps even better ways to conduct yourself and be a better person, would that really change your life in a dramatic way?
No.
Can you think of any way it would?
I think my inner dialogue may be a little troubled, but I think if I found really good evidence that was like, you know what, everything that I believed up until now was a lie, which is kind of like a current phenomenon right now anyway, I would still believe that there was like an overarching consciousness. Hopefully,
Why?
I don't know, maybe not, but I'd rather believe in something than nothing, I guess.
That raises a few questions, Kat. You can go ahead, though.
We might have the same questions. Why would you rather believe in something?
I don't think it makes any sense that there would be nothing. Like, why would there be so many patterns?
What do you mean by nothing?
And by nothing, I mean like everything is pointless, and when you die, and that's it. And there's like, we're just organisms on a planet that just die, and there's nothing to it.
When you say pointless, do you mean like meaningless?
Correct, yes.
Do you think that an inherent meaning exists for all human beings?
Yes.
Is it the same meaning, or?
I think it's subjective.
Objective or subjective?
Subjective.
Depends on the person what the meaning is.
Yes.
Is your meaning determined prior to your birth or at birth, or do you determine it sometime throughout your life? Like, how does that work?
I think that it's determined by the individual. I don't
So you decide your meaning.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not inherent meaning, just to be clear.
Yeah.
That's emergent meaning.
Inherent
Okay.
would mean it just like exists
prior to.
prior to those are the words. Yep. So why do we okay. So do we need a god for this meaning to exist?
I suppose no.
So why does having a god add meaning if we could have the meaning without it?
I don't think that it intrinsically does.
So why does it for you?
Well, clearly, I have a lot of things that I have to go back on and revamp, and I think that's a loaded question.
Well, I think it was a fair question, but I think I'm hearing in your
No, it
answer
was definitely
that,
fair. Definitely
yeah,
fair.
I think I'm hearing in your answer that you've got a lot to question just from this conversation.
For sure.
I have several questions, if I might ask them.
Sure.
Okay, so first question. I guess, okay, the first question that I have is you said something about like something like vile people that caused Jesus or something like that. What was the comment?
I think I said something about how in the spiritual community there it seems to be a consensus that there's a response amongst spiritual entities, if there were to be such a thing, that has like a reaction when using the name Jesus or Yeshua.
I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
So there
The people have had certain reactions to the name. What kind of reactions?
violent ones, right? Like things.
How does that indicate that there's any divinity to it?
I don't know that it does. I mean I don't know that much
Could those
about it, so I can't say.
individuals just be traumatized by their religion?
It could be, sure. I don't know.
Go ahead, Rev.
Okay. Thank you. Second question. You were saying that you believe that Jesus is the Messiah, but you said that Jesus fulfilled something that would be expected of a Messiah.
Say that again.
You said that Jesus fulfilled something that would be expected of a Messiah or something like that.
Yeah, so there was like a study done that was like, what are the odds that this person would fulfill all the things that were expected of the Messiah, which was foretold in like David's times. They ran a test and it was like a 0.04 blah 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 percent. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, I guess I would be curious to know what you see Jesus having done fulfilled.
So it was like all of the old prophecies. I mean, I would have to pull up like the actual study, right? Like I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Okay, well, I guess like if you believe that Jesus fulfilled prophecies or Jesus fulfilled something, I would be curious to know what that is.
Okay. I mean, if you want, I can absolutely look it up because I mean, there was like a whole documentary and everything else made on it. And this isn't just coming from like the religious, like society. It's also coming from the historical and scientific society. So I could send it to you if you're interested in that.
Well, I don't have access. I mean, I guess. Okay, I can table that. I guess if you don't know.
Well, I mean, like, I'm trying to be like as,
No, yeah, for sure.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, I'm not gonna try to spout off some shit that I can't recount off the
You're
top of
doing
my
yeah,
fine,
head.
Polly.
totally.
That's
Yeah,
absolutely the best way to do it. If you don't know
yeah,
the answer, don't
yeah.
give a fake one.
You used a particular name for God. I think you pronounce it Yahweh.
YHWH, yes.
Yeah,
Yahweh.
yeah. How did you come to that pronunciation?
That's a Jewish traditional way of pronouncing the name. I can't say for a fact.
And how did you learn that? Like, how did you come to learn that Jews pronounce God's name that way?
That's how I grew up.
Sorry, I'm not understanding. You grew up Jewish?
No, I grew up non-denominational. So I grew up with,
I think she means that in growing up, she'd heard it.
yeah,
Got it, got it. So you're saying that, like, in growing up, you had heard that Jews pronounce it that way.
yes.
Would it be interesting to know that Jews do not pronounce that name?
That they
Would
don't
that be
pronounce it
interesting?
at all.
I have heard that. Yes.
Okay, so you said uh, you heard the Jews pronounce it that way, and then you said that you had
No,
also heard the Jew.
I've heard that there are different pronunciations. Yes. I mean, it's like Allah, right?
Well, I think what Rav is getting at, would it be interesting to you to know that Jews actually just don't pronounce that name? Not that they pronounce it differently.
Okay.
Is that interesting to know?
Is that interesting to know? It's not a new fact to me.
Oh, I see.
Okay, I guess so. Then the last kind of question was you said you first came on saying that you were blasphemous or something like that. Curious to know what that
That many see me as heretical. Yes.
yeah, what is it about you that seems heretical?
I mean, did you not just hear the whole conversation that we just had?
Well, that's to be fair. I think what she means is she's kind of a red letter Christian, but also even then, it's more about the message than if it even happened.
Oh, all right.
And she's got questions, a lot of them in her brain now. I
These
appreciate
comments
that, Polly.
definitely don't help. I'm looking at these comments on the bottom and I'm like, oh, MG, what did I get myself into?
Well, here's what I would wonder what questions you feel you're going to take away from this conversation.
Really, I think the main questions I take away from are, what can I prove to myself and what actually matters? Like, I mean, I have to pay bills. I have to exist in this society, on this planet, on this earth, like, and be with other people. So, like, does it matter who you pray to at night? Does it matter who your neighbors pray to at night? Or does it just matter that, like, you're striving to be better, you know?
Those are some pretty good questions, Polly. I don't have any more for you today, but I really appreciate you coming up here and answering the ones you did. I'm sorry if it felt a little bit like an attack.
I got one more question. What
Go
is it
for it.
like reading the Hebrew Bible in contrast to the Christian Bible?
They're pretty similar, but not. Right?
Okay, yeah. So what do you think is similar and what is not similar?
So a lot of the like Old Testament is Jewish community, Islam, and Christianity, but anything beyond that is really where things kind of get like weird and twisted.
What do you? I don't. Sorry, can you just back up just a second? You're saying that the text itself is pretty similar,
Say
or
again?
the interpret? Sorry, I'm just trying to be clear. Like you're saying the text itself is similar, or
The
what
message,
is?
the message, the texts
I'm
are not. They're like night and day.
I'm struggling here.
I
Um,
think it's fair to say you haven't finished reading the Old Testament.
True.
How much have you read of it?
I'm in Ruth right now.
you started at the end.
I started at the beginning.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So if you start at the beginning, um, the uh,
Did you read the whole New Testament?
I have not yet, no.
How much of it have you read?
And I mean, like bits and pieces, right? Like,
The four Gospels and then a little bit of the letters after.
like more, yeah.
Okay. Is it fair to say you don't really have a broad enough scope to really compare the two testaments?
Not as much as I should. Sure, yes.
Any more questions, Ralph?
um, yeah, but I feel like I'm not being fair.
It sounds like, Polly, recently to really read through from beginning to end the whole Bible, but that you have an idea based on the way you were brought up of what's in there.
That would probably be an accurate
Okay.
assessment.
And the idea that you have of what's in there is probably based on what others have told you, what you've learned in church.
Sure, until I start reading, yes.
Until you started reading. Do you think it's possible on a deeper reading that you might find vast differences between the way God is presented in the New Testament versus the Old?
Yes,
Do you think you might find vast differences in the way the message is delivered and what that message is?
yes.
I think that's fair. Keep reading, and what questions you might come up with as you do. I wonder if any of these questions might linger when you do.
I'm sure they will.
I appreciate you being here, Polly. I think we're going to move on, but I hope you keep asking questions.
Thanks.
Thank you. I understand, Rev.
Yeah,
There were many rabbit holes I'd wanted to explore too, but I felt like
I
we
don't think she was prepared to have that conversation. I think,
I think we took her to a
yeah,
deep part of
yeah,
questioning, a deeper part than
yeah,
she was expecting, and
totally.
and I think there's enough to chew on for a while, and hopefully we hear back from her, and maybe, who knows, maybe she might have some different answers next time. I don't know who's been in queue longest. I am just going to click the name that I know is still in chat and has been there a while. Hello, Nish. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
I'm 42.
Do you have a belief in a god or gods, higher power, or anything like that?
I believe in everything. It's hard to say, and like you guys can call it spiritual. You can, but it just I believe in what's in front of me.
You believe in what's in front of you, but you said something about spiritual. What does that mean?
Because, I mean, obviously we feel something based off of the things that we do.
Obviously, we feel something based off the things we do. What is that? What does that mean about spirituality? I'm not sure what that has to do with what spirituality is.
I don't like the words that humans has put on things about religion and spirituality. I use spirituality just so I can get closer to the understanding of what I want people to understand about what I'm talking about.
The initial question, Nish, was, do you believe in a god or gods, higher power, or anything like that?
I believe in what is. And what is everything.
So you don't believe in a god or gods. You believe in everything.
I mean...
Or do you believe in a god that is everything?
No, I can't say that because, you guys come up with the word God. Like, it's like you're just trying to label.
Well, here's the thing, Nish. If you'd said yes, then I would say, what is that God, or what does that mean to you?
I already knew that.
So it's not me coming up with a word and trying to label it. I'm using that, as you said earlier, that human words and our language is a little limited. So I use God or gods or a higher power or anything like that to encompass whatever it is that you think is a higher thing. Power, creator, source, God, whatever.
Would I call myself that?
That's fine.
Would I call myself that?
I don't know, Nish. Would you call yourself that?
I mean, ain't I doing the same thing?
I have no idea, Nish. I don't know
I'm just
what you're saying.
The concept of it.
Yeah, I don't know. What concept?
There it is.
Of what?
I'm trying to do this.
You're trying to do what, Nish?
Everything.
What? Why are you trying to do everything?
It's like I need to. It's like it's part of me. Like survival.
What?
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. If you want to call a god something, you want to worship a god, call it survival.
Nish.
What you talking about?
He's either on something or it just doesn't understand what we're doing here. And
no,
to just have a place to say things.
No, it's not a place to say things. It's a place.
So you believe that God is survival?
No, I am. I mean, I am what is. So ain't nothing around me surviving unless I care about it, right?
Nish, how much have you had to drink?
I want to answer the question. Okay. Does anything around me survive?
Nish, I'm not here to answer your questions.
Unless
That's
I care
what I'm saying.
about it?
I don't think you even understand where you are. I feel like you just wandered.
Oh, I know where I'm
speaking gibberish. I don't have any clue what you're saying, except that you're saying words. But you're just gibbering past me, and as soon as I asked how many you've had, or if you've been drinking, you want me to answer your questions, concluding, clearly you don't know where you are. So let's just move on to somebody else who can.
Hi, Mitch.
Did a Mitch scroll through? Let's see who else has been in the queue for a long time. I think Nish was drunk. Or just no clue. But I'd rather move on to somebody. There we go, somebody in queue. Who's actually there? If they're actually there. Charles Watson says, host, are you afraid to have multiple perspectives at once? No, we have multiple perspectives on panel. I have one new guest at a time. That way, I don't have shouting matches of unknown believers arguing with each other about the same belief, while I'm trying to question one and see if they can even question themselves. Seems a rather ridiculous waste of time. But maybe if you can question your beliefs, you might be next. Hey, Charles, can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
Absolutely. I'm 43.
And do you have a belief in a god or gods, higher power, or anything like that?
A god or gods or a higher power or anything like that. Yeah, I have a belief in some sort of a higher power or a higher consciousness, I would say.
What does that mean, higher consciousness?
Okay, so if you're familiar with like just like a layman's term, you look at your pineal gland.
That's a layman's term? I'm sorry, a layman's term is pineal gland?
It will depend on who you're talking to, depend on what the laymen's are, who the laymen's are. So depending
What does
on
layman mean?
like easy to understand, like basic, you know what I mean, like not using big words to try to confuse people, things of that nature. A layman's term.
Okay,
Like a layman.
so let's back up just a little bit. Consciousness.
Did I bring up consciousness? Did I say
Yeah,
consciousness?
you said a higher consciousness. What is consciousness?
Consciousness, as far as the way I would understand consciousness, is being aware of your environment, things that are going on around you. You're conscious of what's going on. You're not.
So there's a higher being aware?
Absolutely.
What does that mean?
So all right, so you go out in certain places, right? Some people, you go to a restaurant, right? Some
I'm
people
sorry,
are
just to stop for a moment. The question originally was, do you believe in a god or god's higher power? You said you believe in a higher
or
power.
being or something else.
Right, or something like that. You said higher power, higher consciousness. It's sounding to me like you're talking about a higher state of consciousness, a place that people
Yeah, because I didn't say a higher power. I don't think I said higher power, but I did say a higher state of consciousness.
Okay, so you believe that there is some other higher state of awareness that people can reach. Not that there's any kind of all-powerful being or anything that is conscious.
Yes, yeah, I think I can agree with that. I would say yes. That's very close to what I would say. I believe. Now, at the same time, now, like, so you have to look at it like, so it's like there's always a beginning of something. So you wonder about where it came from. So, like the whole argument about the chicken or the egg, which came first.
What?
Does anybody else have questions for this guest?
When you say higher consciousness, what do you mean by higher consciousness?
Okay, so I brought up the pineal gland earlier, and that's what I was speaking on.
What is the pineal gland?
Okay, well, some people refer to it as the third eye. It's in the brain. A lot of times they become calcified. Fluoride is a enemy of the pineal gland because it ends up calcifying it. Kind of blocks your It's like when you have receptors. It's like a great receptor of energy, and if you don't take care of it, you're not going to be receiving the energies that you should be receiving from the environment that we're in. So that's another level of consciousness. When you realize that and you decalcify it, you realize there's more things that you recognize, and you see things from a different area, I guess, more so than the carnal things that we see every day that we get caught up in.
Can I ask you a genuine question? When you say
Sure.
this, is it that you actually believe it, or is it that you heard it somewhere and it sounds good?
I actually believe it.
So what do you
So,
understand about the pineal gland that like what does that mean? Calcify, decalcify, like what is your understanding here?
okay, so for lack of a better term, it's almost like fossilized. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like it's just stuck in stone.
fossilized is when minerals replace the organic material.
Okay, so calcified. So if you don't understand something being calcified, I'm trying to figure out an easy way to try to explain that to you about a gland.
What does the word calcify mean? What is the process of calcification? Do you have Google, or do you just make shit up and pull it out of your ass?
No, I only
What
have
is calcification?
I have one screen.
What is calcification?
Calcification would be the process by which something was calcified. Now you look at what does calcify mean. If you mean calcium, which is one of the that's on the periodic table, calcium is one of the elements that's in the universe. We carbon based as the body, carbon based. Calcium is one of those things that say bones. Calcium.
With
So
all
it's
due respect,
calcified. It'd be hardened. Would it be hardened?
I'm not trying to like injure you or anything, but like I think it might be beneficial if you maybe like did a little bit of investigating into some of these beliefs and
Okay, well, so wait a
yeah.
minute. If you want me to investigate, brother, so what do you have to say about pineal glands and what I've said? What
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question about the pineal gland. What is the function of the pineal gland in the human brain?
What is the function of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it produce anything? Like, what does it do? Glands usually like do
They
something.
produce things. Yeah, usually.
What does it produce?
They usually produce, either proteins or they produce certain things. So
Okay, what does the pineal gland produce? What does it produce?
I'm trying to figure out. Did you not go to school? Did you not take biology? Do you not know what the human brain does? You need me to explain.
Charles. It sounds like you have no fucking clue what you're talking about, and now you're acting like I don't know. Do you read the fucking screen that says, can you question your beliefs? I'm asking you questions about what you believe about the pineal gland,
No.
and you're making... cheerful disposition. We hear me being cheerful. We hear me being excited and happy. Clearly, I'm smiling. He seriously thought we were having an intelligent conversation.
Yeah, like we were like seeking information or something.
The moment you turn the condescension on, it's over. There was no intelligence there. You were just making shit up. Why don't you take the opportunity to Google the pineal gland's function and what it does, and then come back?
Hello.
Hello, Phoenix. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
Yep, 26.
Do you have a belief in a god or gods, higher power, or anything like that?
Yes.
And what god is that?
I believe there's a god who is kind of like the first mover who created everything, and I tend to believe in the Christian understanding of that god, in particular the Catholic understanding.
I see. Have you read the
I apologize. Yeah, I have to come right back. My app is completely glitching out, but Phoenix is a good dude and is able to question this. Just give me 1 second.
Appreciate you, Rev. Have you read your Bible from beginning to end, Phoenix?
No, I'm working on it. I'm kind of lazy. I'm a Catholic. I'm not the best Catholic. I'll be honest. I'm kind of a hypocrite.
That's what they all say.
That's what they all say.
I've yet to meet a good Catholic who thinks they're good.
Well, I think that's actually a good sign that they're better. Because if you're a Catholic and you think you're a good Catholic, that's a red flag, or at least an orange flag, yellow flag.
I wonder if it's I don't know, part of the whole teaching you that you're broken thing. But
I think that's overhyped. I don't think that it's as bad as people think it is.
So you haven't read it all the way through because you're lazy, you say. Do you believe the stories within it to be entirely true and literal?
Not literal, but true, yeah. True in different senses. Like if you read a really good poem, it can be true, but it's not like there was literally a man in the woods and he had two paths to take and he took one and didn't take the other. It's more of a...
So you're saying that it's not literal that the earth was created in 6 days, or that Adam and Eve were the first humans, or that there was a global flood and a man built a boat.
Yeah, somebody in the comments actually made a good point. They said, so it's all allegorical. I think that's like a temptation to say, well, if it's not all literal, it must be all allegorical. I think it's a mix. It's written by like multiple people over long periods of time, so
some of it's true. And
somebody just said the Immaculate Conception. I definitely 100% believe the Immaculate Conception is like literally real. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt them. I'm just...
I didn't mean to cut you off. Of course that would happen. Earbud unalived. I would prefer that you not interrupt our conversation to talk to the comments.
Got you. I'll stop.
Yeah, that makes it very difficult to maintain whatever conversation we're actually having. Then
Yeah,
it
for
just
sure.
becomes a you show. So I'm curious. You said that you don't believe in like Adam and Eve. You don't believe in the 6-day creation. You don't believe in the global flood.
So when it comes to those things in particular, my personal belief is that Adam and Eve did exist. I don't believe the flood was global. It was just like very widespread, probably throughout the Middle East. And then the
6-day
6
creation
days,
was the
yeah,
other one.
the 6 days I don't think were literal 6 days.
Oh, I see. So you hold to the 6 days being like God days or something,
Well,
and
it's just I think a
like
lot of it
1,000
has.
or million or billion year days.
Well, I think it's more so a reflection of the culture at the time. You had like 7 days in a week, and so it would make sense that God working for 6 of those days and then resting on the seventh, and the people do that, and this sort of idea that 7 is a number of completion. So like I think it's very. I
So
think
it's
the gist.
symbolic. It's
Yeah, yeah. I think the
it's not
gist is
that
supposed
it's
to be like.
the number of days don't even matter. The fact that they're days or eons don't matter.
It's more
It's more
so
just
like they matter
to
in
tell us that the number matters.
I think the number matters in the sense that it's very cultural. So like 7 was a number, I think in Judaism, that was like representative of completion. You see it over and over again in the text. You also see the number 40 repeated in the text as also a number of completion. Like
Why are
fasting
these?
40.
Why are you deciding these are numbers of completion?
I don't know how it was decided they were, but you just see in the text like 40
see
days
it.
and 40 nights of the flood before it's completed, and you see 40 days of like fasting
That's
repeated.
40. We were talking about 7.
Yeah, 7.
And
So
so,
yeah,
right. So regardless of that, so the number's important. The the fact God created, is that important? Like, is any of the stuff
yeah,
that happens important,
yeah.
or is it
I think
just
the fact God created is important because I think it reflects this idea of a loving God who wants creation and loves his creation, and then that
does
sort of,
what He created matter?
yeah,
Do the
absolutely.
objects given, like He created light and firmament and plants and sun and moon,
Yeah,
animals,
I think those
people?
matter.
Does that order matter? Like the order that I
Oh, that's
just
a
gave?
good question. Yeah, so the order is, I think, also very symbolic because you see
I
God
see.
making things in like, an orderly fashion. Because before there was order in the text, it says that the world was like this waters of chaos.
So He
And then
does things in a very meticulous order.
he kind of takes what's not and makes it what is. He kind of
I
takes
see.
what's disordered and orders it.
Does it matter if there's a different order in the next chapter?
Oh, yeah. So that's another a different kind of creation story, right? Again, that's why I think that it's not literal. So I see it as expressing a different truth, and expressing that sort of order of things. And I think that truth has different emphases. So you can emphasize one aspect of the truth, but you can also emphasize another aspect of the truth without negating the truth that you emphasized previously. As long as you understand that the story is very much allegorical. It's not like
So as long as you understand that the stories aren't true, that they just have symbolism, then the order, which was the important part, a symbol at least, doesn't matter.
I think it matters just in a different way. It's like, okay, it matters like symbolically, it matters for telling us about God, but it doesn't matter in the sense
Does it
that
matter that it makes God look confused and disorganized?
that's a good question. I think that if you read the Bible by yourself and you just read it, not knowing any historical context and not looking at it in the light of the church, then you end up being confused. So I don't.
So I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the light of the Catholic Church has to do with Genesis.
Yeah, so basically I think that God guides the Catholic Church, and so he's helping to guide the interpretation of Scripture through what the church teaches about Scripture.
What gives them the authority to know what's true or not about
Great,
Genesis?
absolutely. Yeah, I think Jesus Christ gives them the authority.
And so, as far as things that you believe without a doubt are true and literal, I take it that starts in the New Testament.
Honestly, like, I think it's a mixed bag, because you look at the different, like, chapters in Genesis, and you look at, like, the storytelling and basically the genres of the different books, and even within the books there are genre changes. I think that is helpful to understand what's being talked about literally and what's being talked about figuratively. I think there's this idea that the Bible is just this one book. It's not one book. It's in my view, it's like 73 different books.
Sure. So where does the literal start?
I think somewhere in Genesis, when it starts talking about Abraham, it's not like totally literal, but I do think, like, there was a guy named Abraham, and
Why?
I don't know. I think that I guess I trust the text. I basically, I trust what the wisdom that the church has shown me, and I think that it's proven to be true from my personal experience. You know, like, the church kind of helped me to become more wise in that I should love and have more empathy for people, even people who do horrible things, and that I should try to.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing why you trust the church on the authority of God.
Well, I trust the church because of the wisdom that the church offers, and then I also trust the church based on the love that I found in the community, and I also trust the church based on the impact that Jesus has had, and
the impact Jesus has had. I'm more curious about why you trust the church. And so far you said you trust the church because it's got wisdom and there's nice people there.
I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people trust things for those reasons, regardless of what group.
How do you know what they are offering is wisdom and not propaganda or indoctrination?
Right. Yeah. Basically, because I've applied it to my life, or I've tried to, and I've seen good things come of it.
Have you seen bad things come of it?
I guess so. Yeah, in the sense that I don't know. I've been kind of isolated, but I feel like that would happen either way. My car broke down. I don't blame the church for that, but I also the church has an emphasis on waiting for things, but it also has an emphasis on cooperating with God's grace. So not just inaction, but I question myself on how well I'm living that out.
It's fascinating. Rav, I'm not hearing what you said. I don't hear a person who can question their beliefs. I hear somebody who's following the Catholic dogma and doctrine and trusts it. I don't hear questioning beliefs.
That's interesting.
You're questioning of self, of devotion, of quantity of belief, and how devoted can I be to God? I'm not hearing any critical thinking.
Why do you think Abraham was a real person?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's not that big of a claim to say there was this guy named Abraham who lived long
Oh.
ago. So I don't need a whole lot of evidence to believe that.
I see. What if I told you that the book of Deuteronomy was written long before the book of Genesis was written?
I mean, that's interesting. I'd want to look at like where your evidence or where the narrative of that comes from, and then also look at counter narratives and counter evidence about that.
Sure. What do you think your best criticism of your belief structure is? Not of Catholicism, but of your beliefs that you hold in Catholicism.
The best criticism?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it is rooted in Catholicism, so I think that one of the best criticisms against my belief is the idea that not affirming homosexual relationships is harmful to the people who are in them.
That's not a critique of your own belief.
Okay.
Well, unless you also do that.